Hello everyone, we're back with another episode. Today we'll be talking about the Dolphins just signed Kendall Fuller for a 2-year contract. As you can see that they released Xavier Howard, and I think Xavier Howard is a better corner than Kendall. Um, I don't know what was happening between Xavier Howard with the Dolphins, but I guess there was a lot of things behind the scene that we didn't know about with Xavier Howard. Um, Kendall Fuller is a great corner to help the Miami Dolphins. I think there was not other corners out there that Miami could have signed, but they signed him for a 2-year contract. I think it's a decent contract. He had a little bit of hard time with the Commanders. I mean, we know the Commander wasn't winning, so his effort didn't really show much there. I think he's a solid player. He's gonna come in and help Ramsey. Um, to be honest with you, I don't think Dolphins secondary is not. I mean, I can't say they're not great, but they're good enough to compete with anybody, especially in their division. Him coming in will help Jalen Ramsey very well because Ramsey need extra help. I think Xavier Howard were pretty solid, but he was on and off. He was actually hurt. Like I said, there was a lot of things behind the scene that we didn't know about, but we found out that how he had personal issue off the off the court, not off the court, but off the field issues. Um, hopefully Xavier Howard gets signed by a different team. I don't know, man. I think that was kind of bizarre to me for him to get released after they got Ramsey. Um, I think that if Ramsey was healthy from the beginning, Howard and Ramsey would have been very solid because when they actually got the chance to play together, they were pretty doing well. They were doing well. Um, I know that Ramsey was coming off from that injury that kind of lead him to at the end of the season, but Kendall Fuller is a solid player. He's not, to be honest with you, I don't think he's a great zone corner. I think he's a very solid man-to-man corner. Um, they will use him. Well, they will use him differently. What they did with him with the Commanders, the Commander didn't use him as much, where he needed support on the other side of the field. I mean, the Commanders weren't that bad in the secondary. Um, they just added a lot of pieces this off season. I didn't expect Fuller to leave the team. I thought he was going to stay there for another years because of Dan Quinn. He's a defensive guy. He has a defensive mindset, and I thought that Fuller would be a great fit for the Commanders with the type of scheme Dan Quinn would be using. Especially, he loves the cover three, one safety on top, two corners outside. Um, that's changed now. Now you're gonna see him play more man to man with the Dolphins because you have Ramsey on one side and then you have other pieces around that secondary with the Dolphins. But the Dolphins' issue is not the defense. I think is more like the quarterback. I'm not going to talk bad about Tua, but I think that they should go draft a quarterback just in case because I think that when you have that type of speed, you want to sling the ball all over the field. And Tua wasn't making great decisions, but let's not talk about Tua. Let's talk about Kendall Fuller. Hopefully he does something well with that team and lift them somewhere to the Super Bowl, especially the Super Bowl. But let's not talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the playoff. Because of what happened to them last season against the Chiefs, it was a terrible beatdown they took. It was very bad for the Dolphins. It seemed like they never played football before. And I get it, the weather was kind of different. And I don't know what really happened with that team, but they crumbled compared what they did during the regular season, how they had a phenomenal season, how they put 70 points against Denver. Um, People will question the Dolphins, but to be honest with you, like I always said, it's never about the defense when it came down to the Dolphins. It was always about the offense. Can Tua could make right decision, and I think it's a solid pick, but it's not going to help much for Miami, but it's going to help it a bit because they let go of Xavier Howard because Xavier Howard was a solid corner, top 10 in his position. That was shocking, but hopefully Kendall Fuller could come in and take off with Ramsey. Now he doesn't have to worry about his other corner on the right side of the field or the left side of the field. It doesn't matter. But he won't worry about so much of that because now he has a great support from Ramsey. The defensive line need to improve. Hopefully they could go get more defensive line for the defense, because if you have two solid corners that's going to play man to man, you need pressure. The same way you could say about any team. Doesn't matter how great your corners are, they need pressure. I wish him luck.